Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you already understood from the thumbnail what topic we're going to discuss today. Yes, today's video is all about the habit of daily reading. Now, before you think this is just another boring lecture about books, let me tell you something. This is not just about reading pages or finishing chapters. This is about building a habit that can completely change your life, make your mind sharper, your imagination wider, and your future brighter. In this video, I'm going to share with you a beautiful, detailed story and simple explanations that will inspire you to fall in love with reading. By the end of this video, you will not only understand why daily reading is so powerful, but you will also feel motivated to start this habit from today itself. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey that might just open a new door in your life. There is a quiet magic in the sound of turning a page, a soft rustle, a movement so small, and yet it carries the power to take you into another world. Imagine sitting in a room on a rainy afternoon. Outside, the drops fall one by one, painting the windows with silver lines. Inside, you are holding a book, and suddenly, you are no longer in that room. You are walking with explorers across deserts, or sitting with inventors in their workshops, or standing beside a young hero about to change the world. That is the magic of reading. It takes you away, but at the same time, it brings you closer to yourself. The story of the habit of daily reading is not just about learning to enjoy books. It is about building a life filled with curiosity, discipline, imagination, and growth. When we read every single day, even for a few minutes, we begin to plant seeds inside our minds. These seeds grow into forests of ideas, rivers of understanding, and mountains of wisdom. But to see this transformation, we need to make reading not just something we do once in a while, but something as natural as breathing or eating. We need to make it a habit. There was once a boy named Arav. He lived in a small town, surrounded by hills and fields. Arav was like many other children his age. He loved playing with his friends, running across the fields, chasing butterflies, and laughing under the sun. But Arav had one struggle. His school lessons seemed heavy to him. Words on the page danced before his eyes. Whenever he had to read, he felt it was a task, something tiring, something forced. Books were like locked treasure chests, and he had no key to open them. One evening, his grandfather called him. The old man had a gentle smile, and eyes that seemed to carry stories from 100 years. He placed an old book in Arav's hands. The cover was worn, the pages yellow, but it smelled of wisdom and time. "This," said his grandfather, "is not just paper and ink. This is a door. Every book is a door. If you open it, you can step into 1,000 different worlds. Will you try?" Arav hesitated, but out of respect and curiosity. He opened the book. The first page told the story of a little boy who wanted to fly. Arav read the first sentence, and the next, and before he knew it, his mind had taken flight along with the boy in the story. The world around him faded. He was not in his room anymore. He was running with the boy, climbing trees, dreaming of wings, and reaching for the sky. By the time he closed the book, he felt something strange. It was joy. It was adventure. It was discovery. That night, Arav could not sleep. His mind replayed the scenes from the book, the words echoing like music. For the first time, he realized that reading was not a punishment. It was freedom. It was travel without moving, friendship without boundaries, wisdom without age. He decided he would read again the next day, and the day after that. At first, he read slowly. Sometimes he stumbled on difficult words, but each day he returned. Just as a seed grows into a plant with water and sunlight, Arav's habit of daily reading grew stronger with patience and practice. Soon, he was reading stories of kings and queens, scientists and dreamers, travelers and inventors. Each book added a new color to his mind. But reading did more than entertain him. It changed the way he thought. When his friends argued about silly things, Arav remembered stories of forgiveness and chose peace. When he faced problems, he recalled the courage of heroes he had read about. When he felt sad, books gave him hope. Slowly, the boy who once found reading difficult became a boy who could not imagine a day without a book. What Arav discovered is something many great people in history have known. Daily reading is not just a pastime, it is training for the mind. Just like exercise makes the body strong, reading every day makes the mind sharp. The more you read, the more you understand the world. You begin to see connections, to ask questions, to think in new ways. You also learn the beauty of language. Words become friends instead of strangers. They begin to flow easily, helping you express your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams. Think of it this way. Our mind is like a lamp. Reading is the oil that keeps the flame burning bright. Without reading, the flame grows weak and dim. With reading, the light shines, guiding us through the darkness of ignorance and confusion. Now imagine a life where every single day, even if only for 15 minutes, you sit down with a book. One day it is a story of adventure, the next day a book of knowledge, another day a poem, and perhaps another day an inspiring biography. Over weeks and months, your mind begins to change. You begin to think bigger, to dream higher, to see deeper. The world around you starts to appear more colorful, more meaningful, more full of possibilities. That is the silent, powerful gift of the habit of daily reading. For young people, especially, this habit is like building a treasure chest for the future. In childhood and youth, our minds are like fertile soil. Whatever we plant grows with strength. If we fill our days with waste, we grow weeds. But if we fill our days with books, with stories, with knowledge, we grow a garden of wisdom that will feed us for the rest of our lives. Arav grew older. The habit of reading stayed with him. In school, while others struggled to write essays or understand lessons, Arav found them easier because reading had trained his mind. He was not just studying for marks, he was learning for life. His teachers noticed the spark in his answers, the depth in his thoughts. His friends came to him for advice because he could see things differently. Books had given him not just knowledge, but also imagination and confidence. One day, Arav read the story of a young scientist who never gave up, even when people laughed at his ideas. That story gave Arav courage to try new things in his own life. Another time, he read the biography of a great leader who believed in kindness and service. That book taught him the value of compassion. Slowly, he realized that every book he read became a part of him, shaping his character, his values, his vision. But let us pause here and think. Why do so many young people today find it hard to build the habit of daily reading? The answer is simple: distractions. In our world, full of phones, games, and endless scrolling, books seem quiet and slow. Many think, why read when I can watch a video in seconds? But what they forget is this: videos entertain the eyes, but books train the mind. Reading makes you active. It makes you imagine, create, and think. Watching passively is like eating fast food, quick and tasty, but not very nourishing. Reading is like a healthy meal, sometimes slower to prepare, but giving strength that lasts a lifetime. The secret is to start small. Just as Arav began with a single book, anyone can begin with a single page, a single story, a single chapter. Slowly, the habit grows. 1 page becomes 10, 10 pages become 50, and before you know it, reading becomes as natural as brushing your teeth. There is also joy in choosing your own books. Reading should not feel like a burden. If you love mysteries, read mysteries. If you love adventures, read adventures. If you love history, read history. Every kind of book has something to teach. The important thing is not what you read, but that you read every day. Over time, the benefits become clear. Reading improves focus. In a world full of noise, a reader learns how to sit quietly and give attention to one thing. Reading builds patience because it takes time to travel through a book. Reading sharpens memory because you remember characters, events, and ideas. And reading expands empathy because when you read about lives different from yours, you begin to understand the feelings of others. Years later, Arav became a teacher. On the first day of class, he held up a book and said to his students, "This is more than paper. This is a bridge to places you have never been. If you walk across it every day, it will take you farther than you ever dreamed." His students listened, and some began their own journeys with reading. And so the cycle continued. One reader inspired another, and another, like a chain of lights spreading across the night. That is the true power of the habit of daily reading. It does not only change one life, it changes many lives. Because readers become thinkers, thinkers become doers, and doers become leaders. If you are young and wondering how to shape your future, remember this: the books you read today are the tools you carry tomorrow. A single idea from a single book can start a fire in your heart, a fire that may light up the world. Do not wait for the perfect time. Start today, even if it is just 5 minutes before bed. Open a book, turn the page, and let the magic begin. Because in the end, daily reading is not about finishing books, it is about beginning journeys. Every book you read adds another star to the sky of your mind, and when you look back years later, you will see a sky so full of stars, shining with wisdom, kindness, creativity, and strength, that you will be grateful you made reading your daily companion. Of daily reading is not just about knowledge. It is about becoming alive to the wonders of life, about seeing beauty where others see nothing, about listening to voices of the past and preparing your voice for the future. It is about filling your days with meaning, your mind with ideas, and your heart with stories. Remember Arav, the boy who once disliked books. He became a man whose life was built by them. You, too, can be like him. The key is simple: 1 page, 1 day, again and again, until reading becomes not just what you do, but who you are. And that, dear reader, is the secret. The habit of daily reading is the habit of building yourself, quietly, patiently, powerfully, day by day.